program, this formal program. So, well, good morning and warm greetings to one and all. So, ladies and gentlemen, we are about to begin our program. So, please find a seat and make yourself comfortable. I think everyone has arrived inside this hall. So, now I would like to have a permission to proceed this program. So it's me, Deepkar Thapa, the Program Director of Uniglobe College, and I am very much delighted and will be assisting you as an MC throughout this grand ceremony. So that is the international conference hosted by Uniglobe College, and it's the third international conference we are hosting today. And it is jointly organized by Uniglobe College and the Global College of Management. And today's program sequence is reflected in the souvenir that we have distributed to all of you. So I think you have gone through the souvenir as well. Oh, well, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to extend my salutation from the core of my heart. Whoever are present out here to enliven the program, please do accept it. To lead any program towards its destination, we need to follow some formalities. So, keeping all these things into consideration, I would like to call the inaugural session chairperson of this third international conference, and he is the dynamic personality of global team and the chairman of Uniglobe College and the principal of Global College of Management. So please welcome him with a huge round of applause, Dr. Oza. And now I invite the chief guest of this international conference to take his seat on dais, and he is the former governor of Central Bank of Nepal, that is Nepal Rashtra Bank, and he is also the former honorable constitutional member of Nepal, an economist and the chairman of Global College of Management, Dr. Tilak Rao. Now I call upon the chairperson of this conference to take his seat on dais, and he is our guru, our role model, and the source of motivation. Our very own academic director, Professor Dr. Radheshyam Pradhan. Similarly, I call upon the guest of honor to take his seat on dais, and he is the professor from University of Dhaka, Bangladesh, Professor Dr. Mohammad Ziaul Haq Mamun. So please welcome him. And also it's my pleasure to call upon another guest of honor, and he is especially the keynote speaker of this third international conference to take his seat on dais, and he is from Assumption University, Bank of Thailand. So please welcome Dr. R. Srinath. Similarly, I invite another guest of honor from Bhagat Phul Singh Mahila Vishwavidyalaya to take a seat on dais. So please welcome Dr. Surendra Moore. And it's my pleasure to invite the guest of honor to take his seat on dais, and he is the Executive Director of Curriculum Development Center of Pokhara University. So please welcome Mr. Rajesh Thogurati. And I call upon another foreign personality and the guest of honor to take his seat on dais, and she is all the way from Assam University, India. Please welcome Dr. Ekpam Ibamcha Chanu. And now I invite another foreign personality and the guest of honor to take his seat on dais, and she is from Birla Institute of Management Technology, India, Dr. Pallavi Seth. And also I invite another dignified personality from India, and he is from Annamala University. So please welcome Dr. Ramachandran to take his seat on the dais. Now I invite our very own associate professor from Tribhuvan University. So please welcome Dr. Ramji Gautam to take his seat on the dais. And also I invite our foreign delegates from Bangladesh to take the seat on the dais, Mr. Kamran Haq Maruf. So please welcome him with a huge round of applause. And also I invite another guest of honor from Bangladesh, Mohammad Jahid Hossain, to take his seat on the dais. And similarly inviting the foreign guests to take their seat on the dais, I invite Ms. Kavita to take her seat on the dais. And also Mrs. Sumesh Kumari from India to take her seat on the dais. And now I call upon another guest of honor to take his seat on the dais, and so please welcome the principal of Uniglobe Higher Secondary School and the Global College International, Dr. Karan Dhaguna. And in the same way, I would like to call the guest of honor to take his seat on the dais. So please welcome the Executive Director of Uniglobe Higher Secondary School and Global College International, Mr. Govinda Sethi, to take his seat on the dais. And also it's my pleasure to request the Principal of Valley View English School, Mr. Dhurba Pokhrel, to take a seat on the dais. One charming personality of global team, our very own respected Principal and Managing Director of Uniglobe College, Dr. Narbahadur Mr. to take a seat on the dais. And also I would like to request the Associate Professor from Pokhara University to take a seat on the dais, Dr. Ravindra Ghimire. So please welcome him with a huge round of applause. And I would like to request all the delegates from foreign countries who are present here to have their respective seats. And also I would like to request all our faculties of Uniglobe College as well as dynamic manpower of Uniglobe College, that is all the staffs, to have their respective seats. And the people who make us aware about what is happening in the market, society, abroad, etc. with the fresh news. So I would like to request all the media persons to have their respective seat. And all the volunteers who have worked whole day and night to make this conference a grand success one, to have their respective seats. And last but not the least, all our talented, smart, dynamic, valuable students and participants of Uniglobe College. And with the seat taking session, I would like to request Ms. Sandana Giri, Ms. Barsha Shrestha, Ms. Shilpa Upreti and Ms. Salina Bhattrai to present badge and bouquet to all the dignified personalities taking seat on the dais. Well, our country Nepal is full of cultural diversity, tradition, language and all, and to represent that all and to welcome our national and international delegates, I would like to call the team of MBA to sing a national anthem, and that also represents the welcome song and one another song especially to all our national and international delegates. So please welcome the team of MBA 4th trimester with a huge round of applause. Well, thank you all our MBA fourth trimester students for this beautiful song and also the national anthem for welcoming all our national and international delegates. Now, to formally welcome all the international and national delegates, participants, research scholars, paper presenters, I request our principal of Uniglobe College, Dr. Narbadur Bista, to welcome all of them. So please welcome him with a round of applause.
Okay. Thank you very much, Deepka sir. Respected chairperson of this inaugural session and chairman of Uniglobe College, principal of Global College of Management, Dr. Khagendra Boja sir, chief guest of the program, chairman of Global College of Management, former governor of Nepal Rashtra Bank, the former CA member, very respectful senior economist of Nepal, Dr. Tilak Rawal sir, our own guru, guru of the gurus, Mahaguru, Professor Dr. Radheshyam Pradhan sir, academic director of Uniglobe College, chairman of Professional Educators Limited, which is the umbrella company of our institution, and the conference chairperson of this entire conference, third international conference, our very respectful guru, Professor Dr. Radheshyam Pradhan sir, executive director especially invited from Pokhara University, Curriculum Development Center, Mr. Rajesh Thakurati sir, the keynote speaker of this international conference, Professor Dr. Srinath sir, very honorable guest who has been frequently here for our first, second and third international conference, Professor Dr. Mamun sir, Professor Dr. Surendra Moore sir from BPS Romance University, India, Professor Dr. Pallavi from BIMTech, India, Dr. Ramachandram, he is from very far Tamil Nadu, Professor Ramachandram, other foreign delegates who are present on the dais after dais, our team members, very respectful personality, charming personality of our team, Dr. Karan Thaguna sir, who is the principal of Uniglobe Higher Secondary School and the Global College International, the executive director, Mr. Govinda Sethi sir, executive director is the executive director of Uniglobe Higher Secondary School and the Global College International. Our own team member, Mr. Dhruva Prasad Pokhrel sir, he is the principal of Valley View English School. Our own very dynamic young personality of Uniglobe College, Deepkar Thapa sir, program coordinators of Uniglobe College, Global College of Management, Valley View English School, Global College International, Uniglobe Higher Secondary School and associated other institutions with global team, all the program coordinators, full-time faculties, executive staff, and the very dearest and beloved MBA and BBA students. We have also invited the journalists, so we honor our journalists, ladies and gentlemen, present in this hall for this third international conference. Good morning to all of you. And I would like to heartily welcome all of you in this third international conference on behalf of the institution as an organizer as well as from my side. This Uniglobe College has set a tradition of organizing international conference, and this is the third one. The first conference was held in 2012, that was in June. The second international conference was before 1.5 years back, that is in 2014 November, and this is the third one. And before that, we had the tradition to conduct this type of international conference in 2 consecutive years. But from last year, because of the encouragement from foreign delegates, because of the encouragement from our students, enthusiastic participation of our own staff, students, we have decided to conduct such type of international conference in every year from this year. This is the startup. And in each year, our students and faculties as well as the foreign delegates will invite in this international conference, and that we have decided from this year. The theme of the conference in this year is Changing Paradigms of Management, a Way Forward to Sustainability. The topic has been selected by our academic director, who is the leader, who is the supervisor as well as the guide of our own Professor Dr. Radheshyam Pradhan sir. And this title or the theme of the conference includes the research articles in various areas, not only focused in the management area. It may include articles from general management, mostly from finance and mostly from the financial areas and economics areas. So the situation is going to be changed day by day. One quotation is there by Professor George from Mexico, that is, today nothing is like it was, tomorrow nothing will be like it is, and change is happening in an astonishing speed. That means it is going to be rapidly changed each and every day. What was yesterday, it is not in today. So we have to cope with this changing environment. It is happening not only in the context of management, though we are more concerned about the management because we have been running many management programs like BBA, MBA, BBA, BI, BBS, MBS, and management related programs we are familiar with. But not only in the area of management, in all the areas of, in all the sectors, the change is going to be very rapid. Like the change happens in the economic order, change happens in the case of political situation, socio-cultural and technological factors are changing rapidly. So we should be prepared for those changes, and especially for the management graduates, that very traditional one, hierarchical line of management has been nowadays traditional and obsolete one. And nowadays there is no difference between the assistant level and the executive level staffs. The organizations are horizontally integrated nowadays. So the management style is going to be changed, and if we are unable to adopt the technology along with the theoretical aspect and practical aspects, we will be nowhere in this competitive world. So we should have very much challenges to cope with this competitive environment. We should be competent in the area of technology, whether we should have the science knowledge or not, computer knowledge or not, but at least the necessary knowledge of science, necessary knowledge of technology, necessary knowledge of computer we should have. And if the science graduates are there, they must have at least certain level of management knowledge as well. So each and every sectors, we need the knowledge of all areas. but we should specialize in any areas. Just like we are focusing in management, but we should have the knowledge about the science, technology, and other one. So, as we have been running the educational institute, it is becoming very challenging for us as well, because our graduates should be placed in the better organizations, better institutions in the future. We expect that. So, to have such type of positions in the reputed institutions, or to create the employment opportunities for others, it is becoming very challenging. Until we should not have such type of talency, such type of capacity, or if we are unable to create such type of creativity among the students. So this is challenge for the educational institutes to provide the management education to the students. So to enhance the capacity of the students, to enhance the capacity of the faculties, and to cope with this changing environment, we should have the discussion, we should have the research and innovations in those areas. Definitely, this conference, Third International Conference, and its theme, just like changing paradigms of management, will contribute something in those areas, and we will be able to gain some knowledge about the changing environment, so that we will be competent in the future, or we will have such type of knowledge, such type of capacity, and such type of efficiency in the coming days. So to increase the efficiency of the students, to increase the efficiency of the organization, employees, employers, such type of conferences, discussions, research, innovations are very essential, and this conference will be definitely fruitful for all of us. Definitely, it will be fruitful for the foreign delegates as well. They are contributing the papers. They will also get the feedbacks from outside. We will also get the knowledge from themselves, and we give also the feedback to them. So this is a type of collaboration among the people in the intellectual circle. So this conference will be definitely give benefit to all of us. I hope this, and I am hopeful that you all will enjoy, all will get knowledge from this conference. And at last, once again, I would like to welcome all of you here, especially the delegates from outside who have come from very far. It's like they are from Dhaka, Bangladesh, they are from Thailand, they are from Tamil Nadu. It is very far, though it is India. India is very near, but Tamil Nadu is not so near as much as what we are thinking about the India. So the people are coming from very far. They have contributed, they have sacrificed the financially time, or the many things they have been contributing for us. We are very grateful to them, we are thankful to them, and I would like to welcome all of them from the foreign countries, as well as our own students, as well as all of the guests. I feel very honored to welcome here. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, our Principal, Dr. Narvada Bista, for formally welcoming all the national and international delegates. And also, we would like to thank to our respected Principal for informing us that now from this year, every year, the Uniglobe College is going to conduct the international conference for all of us, for international as well as for national level. So, the theme of this conference is that is changing paradigm of management, a way forward to sustainability. In first international conference, the theme was New Dimensions and Innovation in Management, which was organized in June 6 and 7 of 2012, in the year 2012. And after that, again, the new theme in November 17 and 18, 2014, that was Contemporary Issues and Challenges in Management. And now the paradigm shift, that is the changing paradigm in management. So we are having the different themes in each and every year, in each and every international conference that we are hosting. And that also holds a great importance. So as mentioned by our respected principal Dr. Narbadur Mr. Nowadays, the change is taking place in a very rapid pace. The one who is able to adapt in the changing environment will definitely sustain in futures. So that is where the theme of this conference also lies. So everything is getting advanced in every second of time now. So every day we start with something new, and whatever be the field, everything is getting advanced. So lots of researchers or lots of researches are being carried out in various subjects around the world, and these updates on various fields around the world included in the international conference will definitely help all of us to share our knowledge, to share our thoughts, to share our findings, to share our objectives and all. And this is where the conferences holds a great importance. So you cannot change the fruit without changing the root. So this is the quotation mentioned by Stephen Covey, and he is 100% right that nowadays, because of the dynamic change in the business environment, we need to change ourselves as well. And now from the student side, we do want to welcome all the national and international delegates. And for this, I'd like to call upon our very own students from MBA 4th trimester. So please give a huge round of applause for Ms. Poonam Regmi.
We talk about global welfare, we talk about social and economic well-being of nations. Also, we have been talking about financial stability, financial knowledge and financial welfare. The topics are not difficult to find, and they play a crucial role as stable management practices are prerequisite for sustainable economic growth. I feel gratifying to look around and see beautiful faces waiting for this big event to happen today. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. First of all, on behalf of Uniglobe College, I would like to welcome you all in this grand event of International Conference 2016. I would like to thank our distinguished guests for attending this ceremony. We are truly delighted to welcome you here today. Welcome to our beautiful country, Nepal. I would also like to take a moment to thank our faculty member for organizing this event. We feel fortunate that we got an opportunity to participate in this function. Today, in this hall, researchers, academicians, experts, practitioners from across the world have assembled to present papers, articles, and exchange educational thought on different management topics. We are going to have issues addressed on different topics by recognized experts who are up to date with the changing paradigm of management. We believe that this discussion will supply us with many ways to sustainability in future. Let's hope that this will be an interesting and learning experience for all of us present here today. As we know, social well-being includes elements such as psychological, physical, intellectual, and the most important, financial well-being of the nation. New ideas and inventions discussed on such occasions are often applied for the well-being of the society. Even one simple idea may create many opportunities in society to uplift the economy as a whole. I believe such issues discussed here are difficult to do over a coffee or a dinner table outside. From this, we can imagine how productive this meeting is going to be here today. Uniglobe College, by conducting such international conference, has been successful to address the multidisciplinary dynamics of management practiced globally. Every year, through such events, it attempts to put light on changing roles of managerial decision-making in the field of marketing, finance, human resource management, organizational behavior, and accountancy, and many more. Finally, my gratitude is for Uniglobe College for broadening an horizon and enhancing our competence through exhaustive and profound dissemination of knowledge on management. So I can proudly say that this is one of the distinct colleges in our country which provide quality education for students in a very unique way. At last, I would like to end by saying a good life is when you smile, when you laugh a lot, when you realize how blessed you are for what you have. Life is beautiful. Thank you. Have a wonderful day.
Thank you, Ms. Poonam Regmi, for the welcome address from the student side. And now we have another student for the welcome address. And last time, few months before, altogether 20 students of MBA, they visited the Zain and Vyas University of Jodhpur in international conference, and there our students also participated, and we received a huge appreciation, a very good appreciation, excellent appreciation for all the delegates who were present out there in that particular international conferences. And here for the welcome address, I would like to call one student, one member of that particular international conference as a participant. He is from MBA 5th trimesters and the student of MBA 8th batch. So please give a huge round of applause for Mr. Kaurnav.
Thank you very much, sir. Dear Excellencies, distinguished guests, delegates from inside and outside of country, respected teachers, my dear colleagues, and ladies and gentlemen, a warm good morning to all of you. First of all, it's my great pleasure and on behalf of the students from the Uniglobe College to welcome all of you in this third international conference on challenging paradigms of management, a way forward to sustainability. Today, this international conference has brought together the academicians, experts, practitioners, and research scholars from inside and outside of the country to deliberate the emerging challenges of the management and evolve the solutions. Basically, the new management paradigm revolves around the teamwork, participation, and the learning. It also revolves around the improved participation, improved communication, integration, collaboration, and the wider range of the teamwork and stakeholders. Value creation, quality, agility, participation, and teaming are the guiding principle. They are regarded as the guiding principles of the present emerging management paradigms. Therefore, I hope this international conference will end up with a very solid conclusion, and of course, after this conference, we'll try to think something different. Can you tell me that, is there any college in Nepal which has organized international conference like this way? Only college is the Uniglobe College, which has been organizing international conference time and again. Then why Uniglobe is organizing this kind of international conference again, time and again? Why? Yes, of course, there are lots of tremendous and unlimited benefits of it. Indeed, through this kind of international conference, we have the opportunity to network with the leaders of academia from around the world and to share our thoughts through the presentation and the publication to prosper the solutions of the emerging challenges, emerging topics. Therefore, I'd like to thank Uniglobe College for providing such a great platform on which we can experience lots of thoughts. Last time, we had been in Jodhpur from 8 to 10 October 2015 to participate in the international conference on the emerging trend in the business economics and finance. I think this is the real example of how Uniglobe College nurtures us by providing the education, practical education and resource-based education platform. The journey to Jodhpur was very wonderful. Wow. They appreciated a lot to us. We around 20 students and some teachers, we were there and we presented our papers and they appreciated a lot. And that was a great platform for us. And I think that made a history in Uniglobe because that was the first time that we got such kind of international exposure outside of the country. I sincerely hope that this international conference will be very much fruitful and truly experiencing one and the transformative experience for all of us. And I would like to express my sincere thanks to Global College and other associate colleges for untiring efforts to make this conference a very wonderful and a memorable one. And finally, once again, welcome all of you in this third international conference. I hope you will enjoy the conference with the various delegates from inside and outside the country. And thank you very much. Have a great conference. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Karna Bahadur Lama, for your wonderful words, for inspiring words, very motivating words to all our students and to all the members of this international conference. And yes, you are right, Uniglobe College is the one who has organized the 3 international conferences, including this one. And there are very few, let us say, none of the colleges who have organized this international conference who has exposed the hidden talents of the students, their ideas, their thoughts in an international arena. So, thank you once again for a very wonderful and motivating words. And again, to formally welcome all the international and national delegates by covering each and every part of this conference, the third international conference, I request the conference chair of this third international conference and our very own academic director of Uniglobe College, Professor Dr. Radhesham Pradhan, for welcoming address. So please welcome with a huge round of applause.
Thank you very much. Some may celebrate happy birthday, some may celebrate happy Valentine's Day, but we celebrate happy International Conference Day. The chairperson of this inaugural session, Dr. Khagendra Oza, the chief guest, Dr. Tilak Rao, Rajesh Thakurati from Pokhara University, Dr. Karan Thogna, Govinda Sethi, Honorable guest, Dhruva Prasad Pokharel, our international guest, Dr. Ramchandran, Dr. Pallavi Sheth, Dr. Surendra Moore, Dr. Mamun, Dr. Srinath, my dear faculty colleagues, staff, the journalists, and my dear students. It gives me an immense pleasure to welcome you all in this international conference, third international conference. When you were born, you probably had a grand welcome at home by parents, but you may be too young to understand it. So as we begin in this international conference, please feel welcome. It's not just an ordinary welcome. It's a welcome to new ideas. It's welcome to new concepts. It's a welcome to new principles, new tools, and new techniques. It's a welcome to transfer of technology from our minds to your minds. It's a welcome to best wishes from our hearts to your hearts. So welcome, welcome, and welcome. A very special and warm welcome to our dignitaries, our distinguished guests, and foreign delegates, particularly. On foreign delegates, I would like to say that we are just being honored with your gracious presence in this third international conference. Despite of your busy schedule, you are able to spare some time for us. We do not know how do we appreciate your support towards this Uniglobe conference. I hope that you all had a pleasant journey to Kathmandu and had a nice sleep tonight. Also hope that you will have a very pleasant stay in Kathmandu and enjoy this international conference. I really like to salute the foreign delegates, domestic delegates, and students for supporting us in making this international conference a grand success. With this, we believe that the personality of Uniglobe College has doubled at least. Thanks for your support once again. For this, I would like to say that सधैँ लक्ष्मीको हात होस्, सरस्वतीको साथ होस्, गणेशजीको निवास होस् तपाईहरुको जीवनमा प्रकाशै प्रकाश होस्। यो कन्फरेन्सले उज्यालो नै उज्यालो ल्याउन सकुन्, यो कन्फरेन्सले सफलता नै सफलता ल्याउन सकुन्। We consider that this conference is going to be a grand success if it can add some value in your life, in your career. In our second international conference, which was held on November 2014, we had only 49 papers and 171 researchers presented the paper at that time. But in this third international conference, we have received 64 papers, and 64 papers are going to be presented by 285 researchers. So, as compared to the second international conference, we have 15 more papers this time. And we have 114 more researchers as compared to second international conference who are going to give the presentations today and tomorrow. So many papers, so many researchers, so many presentators. You all must have worked very hard in preparing the paper, in preparing for presentations. But we believe that your effort will never go waste. Someday and sometime it will definitely pay you in your life. May God bless you all. We have been trying to organize this conference for the last so many weeks. The initiation was started some 4 months ago. We have been doing so much, but sometimes we feel very sorry about it. Particularly today, I am not very happy with some of the students who are arriving late. I have been observing who are the students arriving on time and who are the students arriving late. I find that some of you are arriving even 2 hours late. You are supposed to, you have been advised to arrive here at 7 o'clock, but I find that some of you are arriving even at 9 o'clock, 2 hours late. So I don't think this is a very good practice. Well, if you arrive 2 hours late here in this conference hall, it doesn't make any difference. But what if you arrive 2 hours late in your marriage mandap? So you know the answer. If you arrive 2 hours late in your marriage mandap, then your sweethearts will be taken away by somebody else. So once you have a habit of arriving late, who knows, you will also be arriving late in your marriage mandap. So this is what I am worried about. So I urge each and every one of you to maintain punctuality. Now, the objective of this international conference is to bring together the eminent personalities from our part of the world to make deliberations on the basic theme and to contribute as much as possible. I hope that deliberations made in this international conference will contribute to enhanced knowledge in the field of management, which is so required in recent times. This international conference aims at listening to a greater voice of learned scholars, inner voice of learned scholars, and offering the job as a paradigm of service to our students, to our faculties, practitioners, nations, and society as a whole. Tonight, when you go to bed, if you are thinking of this conference only, forgetting your husband, your wife, your mom, your dad, your girlfriend, your boyfriend, etc., and etc., then we consider that this international conference is successful and we have done our job more than well done. I used to ask my students what kind of degree you would like to have, real BBA or Bachelor of Bekar Association you want to form. I used to ask my students what kind of degree you would like to have, real MBA or you want to form member of Bekar Association. And at that time you all said real BBA, real MBA. So this international conference is one of the steps to that direction, to that end. Hope this international conference will be useful to each and every one of you. We all have been saying in the classroom that management has changed greatly over the years because business has changed greatly over the years. Accordingly, issues and challenges to be faced by business has been changing rapidly. But are we able to change? So it's a big issue. And Sustainability is another problem we have. Now, if we look at different types of publishers, they are interested in publishing management books rather than some other books. Books on history, books on political science, books on geography, books on humanities, books on science and other related matters. Why? Because business is changing fast, management is changing fast, our curriculum is changing fast, and our textbooks are changing very fast. Today we have a good textbook, tomorrow it becomes obsolete. So this is the situation in business. Now, are we all equipped for this kind of changing business? Are we all equipped for facing the challenges to be faced by business and contribute when we go to work in different organizations? Now we know that new technologies have greatly changed the way managers work that once required hours and hours of time and pages of paperwork can now be done in minutes and now can be handled electronically very fast, doing away with paperwork. Now in this conference, we will be giving you hundreds of techniques and hundreds of suggestions. And for each of them, we make the same suggestion. Give it a try. If it works for you, fine, use it. It is yours. If it doesn't work, let it go. Move on to something that works for you. If you take only 10%, if you take any 10% of what we are going to discuss in this international conference, use it as your own. We will consider our job more than well done if you could do that. Now one question we have is, why are we poor? We have been talking each and every day. We have been listening to the news also. How to reduce the gap between rich and poor. And the government has come up with so many NGOs, INGOs, and so many projects have been implemented to reduce the gap between rich and poor. But if you ask me how to reduce the gap between rich and poor, my answer is the education. Educate the poor people. My answer is knowledge. Give more knowledge to the poor people. So that means you all are investing so much in your education. Your parents have been investing so much in your education. What I mean is this, is that it is worth investing in education. It is worth investing in knowledge if we are serious about reducing the gap between rich and poor. People generally talk about financial capital, but we ask everyone to talk about knowledge capital. We want everyone to talk about intellectual capital. Because the economic growth is based upon innovation. Road to growth begins with knowledge. Knowledge and economic growth is positively correlated. You are all smart in computing correlation. So can you calculate the correlation between economic growth and knowledge? You will come across a very positive, high correlation. And when knowledge gets accumulated, economic development takes place. So I think this is what we need to understand and try to accelerate the economic growth. Now looking at the issues and challenges, Uniglobe College this time is organizing an international conference on changing patterns of management, a way forward to sustainability. Hope the deliberation made in this international conference would benefit each and every one of you. Now in US they have a saying, publish or perish. So what is the meaning? If you want to develop your career, then you need to publish. And if you don't publish, you better get perished. This is more true for our faculties. So faculties must publish. So we have seen how the faculties have been coming from abroad, all the way from Dhaka, all the way from Tamil Nadu, and different places, all the way from Thailand. So what is the purpose behind? Because we all are serious in publications. So we have been encouraging our students to come up with publications. And I am sure if you can come up with at least this type of research, you can publish it later on in this journal, and then you can make your resume very beautiful. And wherever you go, then you will get the chance over all other candidates. Be it a case of applying for higher education, be it a case of applying for any other job in any institutions. How to make life beautiful? My idea is that it is through research. We faculties must not confine ourselves to four walls of classroom. There are practitioners also, bank managers and other managers. So we must not confine ourselves to the four walls of our office. If we do that, life is going to be very miserable. Therefore, I urge each and every one of you to come up with a piece of research like this. And then I ask you, can you go on attending different types of international conference and give the presentation? Like the 20 students who went to Jodhpur, where they presented a paper. And last time we have Dr. Srinath here, who has also pressed me very hard to come and attend the international conference which he organized in Bangkok. But unfortunately, I could not make it this time because of my other assignments. But in future, I will try to make it as far as possible. So how research is very useful. So you prepare the paper, you go to international conference in Odisha and give the presentation and have a darshan of Lord Jagannath and then come back, then you get very fresh. You go to international conference organized in Hyderabad, give the presentation, have a darshan of Tirupati Balaji and come back. So how we can make a life very beautiful? But you cannot attend such type of conferences without any kind of research paper. So research is a very good tool to make our life beautiful. And these days, I have been saying all the time, everybody is champion. He is champion, he is champion, she is champion, she is champion. Everybody is champion. Everybody knows how to operate email, how to operate internet, Facebook and all that. But simply by becoming a champion is not enough. We need to become champion of the champions. So how you want to do it, you have to do it. So once again, I would like to thank all the foreign delegates, domestic delegates and students for supporting us. One day I might die without saying goodbye to you, but I will never forget to say thank you, and thank you. Thank you for supporting us. Let me tell you one thing before I conclude. Please do not reject it. Do not reject it, at least for the sake of your sweetheart. After listening to these 2 lines of mine, can you give 1 like at least? Can you do something in your life? Can you do something in your life so that people will not search your name in the Facebook and instead, but they will search your name in the Google. So with this, I would like to thank each and everyone for supporting us, particularly the international delegates domestic delegates, and the students who have been taking active part. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, our Executive Director and the Chairperson of this inaugural session of this third international conference, Professor Dr. Radheshyam Pradhan, for welcoming all the national and international delegates and also highlighting the importance of research, why the third international conference have been arranged, conducted to all the delegates. And definitely, so you are right that the hard work that we do in present time will definitely pay us in future as well. So, my dear students, so whoever are presenting the paper here, I think almost every trimesters, except the few first and second trimester, you all are presenting the paper here. So definitely it will help you to achieve a huge success in your life, wherever you go, or wherever you do your work, or whether you start a business, it doesn't matter. But the research that you have done in different topics will definitely help you to increase your knowledge. So investing in education, investing in knowledge will give a huge return in futures. And with this, now it's time to inaugurate this inaugural session, or inaugurate this third international conference formally by lighting the ceremonial lamp. And for this, I would like to request our chief guest, Dr. Tirak Raul, to light the ceremonial lamp and inaugurate this third international conference. Thank you, our chief guest, Dr. Tirak Raul, for inaugurating this third international conference, and especially this inaugural session. And now it's time to unveil the souvenir as well. And for this, I would like to request our volunteers to make the souvenir available on the dais. So, we request our chief guest, Dr. Tirak Raul, to unveil, to release the souvenir. So, this is the souvenir that we have distributed to all of you, that we have presented in the bag, that we have given to all of you. So, you can go through it. It contains all the schedules, the different topics, the papers, which our presenters are going to present today. Now, it's time for the keynote address. And for the keynote address, it's my pleasure to welcome one of the very charming, a very dynamic personality, who is not only the guest of honor or the keynote speaker in these conferences. Okay, first of all, before the keynote address, we have the inauguration address. And for the inauguration address, I would like to request our chief guest, the former governor of Central Bank of Nepal, Nepal Rashtra Bank, and the former Constitutional Assembly member, and the economist, and the chairperson of Global College of Management, Dr. Tirak Raul. So please welcome you to his round of applause.
Thank you very much. Chairperson of this seminar, Dr. Oza, Professor Pradhan, other distinguished learned personalities on the dais, guests, dear students, ladies and gentlemen. It's a proud privilege and honor for me to be here today to share some of my thoughts with you. I am very happy that Uniglobe College, in collaboration with other sister educational institutions has organized this third international program. I understand that amongst educational institutions in this country, Uniglobe is the first educational institution to organize this kind of international seminar. My hearty congratulations to them. Congratulations to the students and to the team led by Professor Pradhan, Principal Dr. Best, and others. Of course, the overall guidance of Dr. Oja is always there. I am invited once in a while to be a part of their noble endeavors. Keep up your good work. My best wishes are with you all. I went through the gist of some of the papers to be presented here in the 2-day seminar. I will be going through the detailed papers in times to come, but I have come to know that several topics have been chosen and quite good work has been done, which will be presented and shared in the 2-day seminar. I'm sure this interaction, which is going to take place over this period of 2 days, will be very, very fruitful, productive as well. You have done some work on various issues. Economic growth, economic development has been tossed upon. Students have taken up the case of profitability of commercial banks. You have tried to regress some dependent variables with so many independent variables to ascertain the level of profit of commercial banks and other financial institutions. How influential some of the explanatory variables are on the dependent variable. You have shown that. You have tried to, establish a kind of relationship between the size of the board and the profitability of an institution. These are very interesting. And we have got papers from outside as well. There is one paper from Bangladesh which has, taken up the case of what happened to us after the devastating earthquake of April and suggested that there should be more than one international airport. Just imagine what would have happened to us had this only international airport in the world, in this country, I'm sorry I used the word world, had this been, out of service or operation. So they have rightly pointed out that you should have at least one more international airport. This is coming from outside. And there is a paper I saw, from Thailand also, showing the importance of English as a medium of communication. Of course, Bangkok is a cosmopolitan city, and you have got people from all over the world doing business, doing different kind of things in this, city. So the importance of English is there. It looks like Thai, are adapting to this need of the time. I often tell my friends that if you fail to adapt yourself to the changing time and environment, you will not succeed. So they are doing the right thing. And there are so many, distinguished personalities from India coming from places like Tamil Nadu. I hope we'll have the benefit of listening to them and sharing with them our thoughts and ideas. This is a wonderful opportunity, not only for students, but also for faculties to interact and get benefited. So make the maximum use of this time and benefit yourself, listening to the wise deliberations, observations, interventions of these distinguished guests who have come from our friendly countries. Interact with them, exchange ideas freely, use any kind of language you want. If possible, use English. If not, you can even use Hindi. or Bengali. I can speak, Bengali a little bit, but understand, 90-95% of spoken Bengali. I'm sure since there are so many common words in Hindi, Nepali and Bengali, you all will understand at least 60% of spoken Bengali as well. I must tell my friends coming from Bangladesh that I was in Dhaka working for International Youth Organization, an international body, during 1984-88. Wonderful place, very good place. I enjoyed my stay of 4 years there thoroughly. So you have a wonderful opportunity of learning from them. You see, you have brought or put before us different topics to be delved into. You have done some work and you want the participants to further delve into it, right? Do it. So in line with what you have put before, what you are going to put before this seminar participants, I'm also going to put before you some of the challenges of the current time, right? You have done your micro-analysis, now I'm going to put before you some challenges from a macro perspective. Many countries of the world have, developed so fast. They have succeeded in giving very good standard of living to their people. The West, North America, has done a wonderful job, They have reached the high mass consumption level. Now, beyond that, after that, they don't know what to do. But there are countries in the world, with millions of people starving. Or Nepal, look at the position of people here, And take the case of Sudan, Sudan was split into two. Now South Sudan, in its 5 years of existence, has already witnessed the killing of 50,000 people in the civil war. And Sudan, I tell you, is one of the rich countries in the world. But unfortunately, my dear students and participants, it seems Sudani oil has benefited the people from other parts of the world more than the Sudanese themselves. Some of the Sudanese these days, I read, have to survive on leaves from the forest trees. So this is the pitiable condition. You have to accelerate growth. China has done it. In the past, they grew 11-12%. In certain quarters of a particular fiscal year, their growth even exceeded 12%. As a result of this impressive growth that they achieved in the past, couple of years, they succeeded in extracting millions and millions of people from a level of abject poverty. Now India wants to do the same. Prime Minister Modi of India has said, what China has done in the past 20 years in terms of growth, he would like India to do the same in terms of growth over the next 20 years. Grow at 8, 9, 10%, right? But you cannot do that easily now because there are limitations, impositions, While growing, you have to always calculate the carbon emission per unit of GDP. The West, has imposed this kind of restrictions, on growth. They are worried about the level of carbon emission in China. They have also cautioned, India about it. Though carbon level emission in India is much lower compared to the carbon emission level in China. I think in India, it's 1.6 ton per person. It's the same as the level of carbon emission in China in 1980s. Currently, the carbon level emission is 1.7 billion ton in India. If you aspire to grow at 8% on a sustainable basis, your carbon level emission, which was or is around 1.7 billion ton in 2010 and little more by now, will reach 3.5 billion ton in 2030. Can you do that? Arun Jaitley and Narendra Modi want their economy to grow by 8% on a sustainable basis. I wish them good luck. I hope their desire to grow at least by 8% on a sustainable basis, gets translated into reality. I hope there are no restrictions and impositions. But what I'm trying to say that the economies cannot freely grow like in the past. There are so many restrictions. You have to turn towards the international community. Global warming, subject is gaining prominence. So you cannot isolate yourself and do something on your own, ignoring the rest of the world. As far as China is concerned, they are also worried, about the carbon emission level there. So they have, I think very calculatively and on purpose decided to have only 6.5 to 7% growth. They want now quality growth on a sustainable basis. There is a paradigm shift in China as far as policies related to growth are concerned. Previously, whatever they achieved in terms of growth was dependent on export. In other words, they relied very heavily on export-led growth. But now, there is a paradigm shift in the sense that instead of relying too much on export, they are now counting on domestic consumption and investment. The growth model now in China is domestic demand-driven growth. They want quality growth, which can be sustained for a long, long time to come. So there is a paradigm shift now in China. Indian economy is growing faster than Chinese economy. And they have to do it. Because, I hope our friends from India will agree that Prime Minister Modi was elected as Prime Minister with the hope that what he did in Gujarat will be replicated in the whole of India once he is put at the helm. So in order not to frustrate the Indian people, I think Modi ji will have to try to achieve a growth rate of 8% on a sustainable basis. I have to do it. So these are some of the things, challenges, how you have to adjust yourself to changing need of the time. So these things have to be taken into consideration while formulating policies and all that. Talking of policy formulation and education in these countries, I often keep repeating that without taking full cognizance of what is happening in India, you cannot independently formulate and execute policies here, be it in the field of finance, be it in the field of fertilizer or food policy or subsidy. You have to take into account what is happening in India. Very appropriate would be to take the case of hydropower generation in this country. When I was in the Parliament or Constituent Assembly, I raised this question quite often, and I put this question before the power or hydropower or energy ministers. How would you like to formulate your policies? And if you intend to have your long-term policy, you cannot do it independently without taking into account what India is doing in this area. Look at what has India done in the field of nuclear energy, wind energy, solar power and hydropower. And what India wants to do now, I think the time has already come or will come soon in the future when India will start looking at our water from a consumptive standpoint only. Then your water, food irrigation, drinking purpose, and of course flood control. Some regulation on Nepali water will have to be done. I don't think they will wait too long to get hydropower from our country. So you have to accommodate yourself, adjust yourself to the changing time, be it an individual or a company or a nation. Those failing to do fail in life. You have talked about financial sector and all that, profitability, return on equity, return per share and all that. Financial institutions are doing good, quite okay. We were in trouble long ago, right? So we did launch a program, financial reform program, in collaboration with International Monetary Fund and World Bank. We did bring about this Umbrella Act. and Nepal Rashtra Bank Act was also reformulated, redone, right? So we did, succeed in bringing about major reforms, and even government-owned financial institutions are doing quite good nowadays in terms of profitability. We got lots of, consultants from US, UK, and so many other countries in the past. But look at the situation now, in 2009, this recession started, and this started with the sinking of Lehman Brothers in the United States of America. They had this serious financial crisis, which spread to Europe. Trillions of dollars had to be injected by the government to rescue these financial institutions. The whole financial sector, became sick. So I, started wondering, in the past, we used to look to North America, more specifically United States of America and the West, to learn lessons. We thought they were our role models as far as reform in financial sector was concerned. But with financial institutions turning sick in these countries, I didn't know who should we turn to as our role model. Chinese financial institutions are not doing good. Of course, Japanese, they have huge NPA. South Korea had that kind of problem after 1997 crisis. They were in negative trouble. Of course, South Korea, emerged out of it, through the help of asset management companies and all that, but, got into deep trouble. So we didn't know. Maybe we thought Indian financial institutions were the best to turn to for advice and help. I still don't have answer. So give a thought to it. Because we always look to the West and, North America. They together, can be termed as West, right? We always turn to the West as role model. Whatever we fell in, we thought we'd got medicine and, prescription from the West. But after the debacle, who should we, turn to? These are some of the things that you need to look at very seriously. We have to bring about suitable changes. If we fail to do that, I repeat one more time, we are bound to fail. Countries have failed. Just because some countries are resourceful doesn't mean they have to be prosperous. If they fail to make proper utilization of the resources they have been so kindly given by Mother Nature, no, they cannot prosper. Look at some countries in the world with lots of mineral resources. Libya has so much oil. Iraq has so much oil. Iran has. Nigeria has. But where are they today? In Libya, there are governments, not one government, there are governments. Iraq is on the verge of being, disintegrated into pieces on ethnical lines. And Iran, what is happening to Iran? They have got lots of resources. But have they been able to give a good standard of living to their people? No. There's no peace, no stability. But there are countries in the world without too much resources. But they are doing very good. Look at how Singapore prospered. Look at Taiwan. Look at South Korea also. Japan. They don't have much resources, but they are doing very good. Israel, not much resources, but doing very good. So you must know how to make use of your resources, bringing about suitable changes in your style of operation, your style of work, and all that. Now I don't want to take too much of your time because you have listened to the wise deliberation of Professor Pradhan. I always admire him. More specifically, his style of presenting very serious thoughts, views in a jocular and light manner. I appreciate it. You have heard a lot. He's a professor. I'm a very young chap in this field, Age-wise, I'm maybe older than many of you, but as far as education is concerned, education sector is concerned, I often say, and I have no hesitation in repeating that I'm the youngest person. I keep on learning, reading their good work and listening to their wise deliberations and sharing my thoughts before this kind of august and distinguished gathering whenever an opportunity is provided to me. So, so take advantage. In Nepal, you see, in Nepal we have not been able to take advantage of the opportunities, put before us. Before I conclude, I will take just one more minute saying that the oil prices on the global market has taken a nosedive. They are at the lowest level, I think, in the past 11, 12 years. Lowest. Some countries have taken advantage of it. China has done it. They have filled all their storage facilities with cheap oil from the market. India too has benefited. You see, when the oil prices have taken a nosedive on the global market, you see, we, the consumers here in Nepal, have to pay how much? Up to 300 rupees a liter of petrol, 250 a liter of diesel. You see, this is how, you see, we have not been able to take advantage of the situation provided by the scenario, by the events outside. We talk of blockade. Some are even fond of terming it Indian blockade and all that. Well, maybe there were some, kind of things which happened in the past also. But who asked you to be dependent on external, you see, countries or agencies for rice, for vegetables? We are an agricultural country. Agriculture still, stands, accounts for about 60-65% of the population, engages around 60-65% of the population of Nepal, contributes to GDP in a significant way. But we are buying vegetables, buying rice, I think in the tune of around 25 billion rupees a year. Buying what not? Then I said, okay, we agree. This is a kind of undeclared blockade by India. Okay, agreed. But India, I said, I wrote in one of my articles a couple of months ago, India has got shortfall in rice production. We too have in Nepal. Nepal will be requiring to import 800,000 tons of rice from outside. And India, since they have shortfall, they may impose some kind of restriction on rice export to protect the interests of their consumers within India. So if they do that, if they impose some kind of restriction on the export of rice from India, will you call it a blockade? India, half the rural household in India do not have access to electricity even today. India has emerged as a major power. It is an actor on the global, stage. Its intervention is sought all over the world to resolve political and economic issues. But still it has got serious internal problems. It has got around 230 million people surviving on $1.90 a day. Described by World Bank as the state of abject poverty. Half the rural households are without electricity. This 230 million people have to survive on $1.90 a day or less than that. So they have their own problems. They have to think about it. So these are the problems of that great nation also. You have to think about them and bring about suitable adjustment. In our case as well. Looking at the growth, right? You have to take into account the aspiration need of these many peoples and, have an annual rate of growth, satisfactory rate of growth in India. I tell you, a sea change is taking place in global financial governance. I tell you, right? Serious questions are being raised by China and India about the viability of the Bretton Woods Conference organization, like the World Bank and International Monetary Fund, also the Asian Development Bank, which was established much later than World Bank and International Monetary Fund. China and India together want an assertive role in these, Bretton Woods Conference organization. It seems the West and other major powers, are not that keen to pay proper heed to their requests. And they have shown in adequate terms that should the international community or should the major powers holding major stake in the Bretton Woods Conference institution not pay proper attention on time to their request. They are ready to bring parallel organization. A clear example is the establishment of Asian Infrastructure Investment Bank. They have given this hint. And I read somewhere recently, International Monetary Fund Managing Director was in India to inaugurate this regional International Monetary Fund office in New Delhi. I hope they will slowly listen to the demand of China and India, who are seeking a major role in the functioning and organization of Bretton Woods Conference institutions like World Bank and the International Monetary Fund. Now, I don't want to bother you much with my, deliberations. I didn't bring a written text. I was given 15 minutes by Dr. Narabahadur Bishta. I hope I have consumed that. I sincerely thank you for listening to my utterances. Thank you once again. I wish you good luck. A pleasant stay.
Thank you very much, our chief guest, Dr. Tilak Rao, and for sharing a lot of knowledge, the economic issues of Nepal, India, China, and also some of the issues related to Nigeria, like Sudan and all. And without further delay, I would like to proceed forward. And now we have one keynote address from the guest of honor, and he is not only the guest of honor for this international conference. We have invited him as a faculty at Uniglobe College, and he guided the two major subjects of MBA second trimesters. One was managerial communication of 2 credit hour, and second one is the communications skills practicum of 1 credit hour to the student of MBA 11th batch, that is second trimester. So it's my pleasure to welcome for the keynote address who has come all the way from Bangkok, Thailand, and he is the professor from Assumption University. So please welcome Dr. R. Srinath.
Namaste. Namaskar. Bonjour, French. Vanakkam, my own native language. Sawadee Thailand, where I come from. Assalamu alaikum, Professor. Guten Morgen. Annyeong haseyo, Korean. Ni hao, the world's most spoken language, Chinese. Ohio, Japanese. Mingalaba, your neighbor Myanmar. Xin chào, Vietnam. Salamat, Malaysia. I could go on. I was given 25 minutes originally, and at this point of time, there seems to be pressure on time, so if this goes on, we may not have much. The message is the same: greetings, good morning, welcome. My greetings to the chief guest, Principal Narbista sir, Mr. Conference, Professor Radheshyam sir, dignitaries from other parts of the country. It's good to wake you up. Research scholars, students, and academic colleagues from far and near. Yeah. My 25 minutes keeps ticking. So, technology is not always our friend. When you expect it, technology would betray us. I'm sure it's going to take us a minute or two for the system to get started. I'm going to be here to share my thoughts with you on the ASEAN integration. ASEAN integration is, ASEAN, as you probably know, is the Association of Southeast Asian Nations. From this year, beginning 2016, ASEAN's got a Euro-style integration ASEAN's basically got 10 member countries, and all of these 10 member countries would be enjoying the privileges which Europe has. The one good thing with ASEAN will be that there would be no common currency. One of the pitfalls which faced Europe in its union integration was money, which was a major impediment between the countries' standards. Now, can we please go on to the topic, Krishna? Slide please. I'll be sharing my thoughts a little bit up on the ASEAN integration, and we would be here for the next 2 days, so whatever deliberations, questions, thoughts, ideas, comments, criticisms, you'll be welcome to have it on a group basis, individual basis. Here I'll be wrapping it up because time is and will continue to be our enemy. So basically, why AEC? Just like I said, it's going to be trying to bring these 10 member countries together. I'm sure most of you here may not be familiar with ASEAN, but it's a powerhouse. I'm going to share with you brief details here. So you probably would see the list of 10 countries there with Singapore, the tiny island country which is one of the world's richest countries. Thailand, Malaysia, also on the top level. And then we've got Vietnam and Brunei. It's a very, very tiny country. But Indonesia, the fourth most populous country in the world, is another member. And then you have Laos, Myanmar, Cambodia, which are among the poorest nations in the world. So this is going to be posing innumerable challenges in terms of income imbalance, which our guest was talking to you. There's a huge income imbalance when you look at Singaporeans or when you look at someone from Laos or Myanmar or Cambodia. The challenges are plenty. Indonesia is the world's biggest Islamic country. A lot of those around are fundamentally Buddhist countries. You also have the Philippines, which is Asia's only Christian country. So the integration is going to pose huge challenges, not in terms of income imbalance, in terms of socio-cultural, economic, religious, language, beliefs. But I believe they've been planning on it for a few years. I myself have been researching on it for the last 4 or 5 years. A lot of headway has been made. This is going to be the most stupendous statistics I'd like to share with you here. It's a combined market of 625 million people, which is going to be making it the third most potential market in the world if you consider it to be one unit, leaving behind China and India. You could look at the GDP there, 3 trillion, average growth rate of 5%, which is still good when you look at some of those countries which are very backward economies. They've got plenty of agreements on trade and development. They also have on the pipelines free trade agreements with a few countries. They call the 5 pillars of AEC, ASEAN Economic Community is what AEC stands for. The integration is called ASEAN Economic Community. It's going to be a single market production base, competitive economic region, equitable economic development, and integration into the global economy seamlessly. This is what they are envisioning. I'm sharing this with you again with the reason. If you see the map, where Brunei is a very tiny country, I don't think it's going to be of any consequence into the integration except that Brunei is a member. And then What's going to be the key will be, of course, my focus as someone who's a researcher from Thailand, to be focusing there. Thailand is going to be the corridor to watch because of its geographical location. If you've got to be getting into Cambodia or Laos or Vietnam or even Myanmar, they don't have very much developed airports even. So Thailand would have to be the hub, and the growth rate in Thailand has been rocketing for the last 5 or 6 years. Just when AEC was announced, to me, it really looks like AEC itself was prepared and launched in order to help Thailand and its economy. I don't think I'm wrong though. Thailand is strategically located to act as the hub of ASEAN. I repeat, it's going to be the hub. Its proximity to Malaysia, its south shares the border with Malaysia. With Myanmar, we've got quite a few borders sharing it. Cambodia as well, you could walk across into the neighboring country. And Thailand's got great manufacturing facilities. It's one of the world's largest exporters of seafood. It's the world's largest exporter of, one of the world's largest exporters of rice, one of the world's largest exporters of tinned fruit, food, vegetables. Of course, it's got its beaches. Probably you're only familiar with Thailand's tourism. There'll be free flow of goods, like I've told you. It'll include tariff reductions, which makes, I see Nepal is a great case in context with India's border on 3 sides. But I believe if Nepal could be working towards tariff restrictions, probably would be a lot easier. Commodities here might tend to be on a par with what is sold in India if your country could be negotiating some kind of supply agreements down the lane. Why is the integration taking place? It's basically to balance the power of China and India. Now, these 10 member countries have started feeling a little bit like they are located like Kathmandu. Do you follow me? They feel that they are in a valley surrounded by 2 huge behemoth mountains, China on one hand and India on another, which is making them lose their leverage as well as its competitive advantage. In order to survive a little bit better, more forcefully, more successfully, even though they have the resources, this integration seems to be in line. What would be the benefits? It'll open more regional cooperation, improve efficiencies of scale. There's going to be probably more dynamism, remains to be seen. But what it would definitely be doing is ease the flow of goods. So if you look at it, logistics is one of those biggest gainers since the integration. It'll offer new ways of coordinating supply chains, like I just said, and create established markets. Right from this year, January, this has been in place. ASEAN plans to remain engaged with global economies through high-level trade agreements. They fostered quite a few trade agreements. With China, they have it in place, with India, with Japan, with Korea, Australia and New Zealand, even though Australia still keeps putting a comma every time the agreement is about to be signed. They come up with a clause and ask for clarifications. Investment in emerging markets, which is more desirable than in the US and Europe. But what's important is there would be no shortage of funding from within the ASEAN. The ASEAN itself is very powerful, like I've told you earlier. Singapore itself is good enough to handle all of the 10 economies on its own. Then of course, all of those except those last 3, which I mentioned, Laos, Myanmar, Cambodia, do not have enough money power. The others are quite stable financially. If you've looked at Vietnam, it's been rocketing for the last 10, 12 years. They've got growth rates of excess of 9% on average per year. one of those important things which this would be focusing on would be healthcare. It might be surprising to you. A lot of people around the world, even when I've talked to people, feel that India is one of the biggest places for treatments. Not true. One single hospital in Thailand called Bamrungra Hospital performed 35,000, I repeat, 35,000 open heart surgeries in 1 year. Among other things, medical tourism is one of those big assets for Thailand's economy, and a huge amount of money comes in through medical tourism. If you look at a particular location of the hospital, you go there, you may not feel like you're in Asia or even Thailand. You'd be surrounded by people from the Gulf countries, the sheikhs in their white costumes. So for one person who comes for treatment, he or she brings with him a team of 10 or 11 attendants, and there's so much money coming in through tourism. Medicine, tourism are two contrasting things. When people think of medical treatment, there is a tendency to feel under the cloud mentally. When you think of tourism, it's leisure, pleasure. But then, Thailand has again managed to weave these two very successfully, bringing life to it, calling it medical tourism, very highly successfully integrating it. Of course, MICE, as I was preparing my presentation, even before I came to your beautiful country, I was not aware. I have not made changes to what I've done, but my changes, impromptu. Nepal has got plenty. I'm a little bit surprised as to why it can't be the nation to watch after the next few years. The only impediment I see as of now is the power crisis. And when I've been talking to delegates here, my students, with the level of water resources, I see no need why Nepal should be satisfying India's power needs while millions of your households continue to suffer in silence. Air traffic in Thailand is known to grow. It is growing phenomenally. When I first went there, the old airport, as it's called now, had one terminal. Then they made it the second terminal. It was huge. That was not enough. They built another airport with 58 gates. That's too full now. They had to reopen the old airport after the floods to serve the budget carriers. That's bursting now. 2 months before, they opened another terminal in the old airport. I don't know where it goes. Thailand's population is about 66 million. It receives, on average, the last year was 30. They targeted, their first target was 28 million. They reached 28 million before October. They reset it to be 30. They reached 31 million, which means for almost 2 people, there's 1 tourist. You can imagine how the economy grows. Now, if ASEAN were going to be one economy, it's not one economy, but that's what they are envisaging, it would be the 7th largest in the world, with a combined GDP of almost $3 trillion US. That's a whopping amount of money. It could be the 4th largest by 2050 if the present trends continue, and I see the present trends definitely set to continue. 625 million people, its potential is larger than the European Union or North America. North America's population is less than half of what ASEAN would be. Obama's America is 310, so this is way ahead of it. And the most important thing is the labor force is very, very young. Like in Nepal, like in most Asian countries, this could be one strength for countries to capitalize and move forward. This is another piece of statistics I'd like to share with finance professionals here. ASEAN exports over $1.2 trillion worth of commodity and 54% of the total ASEAN GDP and 7% of global exports. Well, I even heard two of our illustrious speakers before me hint on the topic of GDP. I'm not sure if GDP is the only way to measure growth. I was talking to my students earlier. There's a small country, a tiny little country called Bhutan, which does not measure its GDP. It measures what is called Gross Happiness Index. What a wonderful way it is to measure. I wish we had more countries measuring people's happiness rather than how much money we have. Where does AEC stand now? The ASEAN, they've been working on millions and millions of kilometers of roads. Infrastructure has been stupendously developed in order to help the traffic flow, which is going to be huge as they've planned. Joining the fund is also one of those routes from India, another from Bangladesh through Chittagong, one from Guwahati from India. I think everyone is trying to take a piece of the pie. Even though I personally feel SAARC has been a letdown on its citizens. SAARC has really not done much. With India being the big brother, I honestly feel SAARC is a letdown when you really go back and look at what the Far East has done. At least the Middle East, they've got oil well, they could be successful, but South Asia has everything. But I think consistently politicians from across the spectrum have not made their lives easier at all. Now, ASEAN plus one free trade agreements, they've got ASEAN plus many, which I think would be one of those ways for them to be successful. They've got agreements in place with China, Japan, the Republic of Korea, and also India. ASEAN is negotiating with the Regional Comprehensive Economic Partnership, which would be a regional agreement involving ASEAN and its 6 free trade area partners or free trade agreement partners. Again, we are talking numbers here because I'm consciously aware that a lot of you, under the mentorship of Mr. Conference, sir, you're all finance geeks. So this would be in order for you all to look at $21.2 trillion, which is about 30% of global GDP, a market capitalization of 3.4 billion people, which is half the world's population in the corridor. That is some number, my friends. Combined tourist visitor arrivals of 108 million people. So you can imagine the potential it would be creating. 108 million people. Just work the numbers, divide it even by 365 days. In between you would have about 3 months of low season. See how much it would be during the Christmas New Year time. Total exports 13,000 billion US dollars. Now, what surprised me was the last line. 13,000 and total imports of nearly 12.5 thousand billion dollars. That's kind of balancing up the odds with the evens. Doesn't give you much, which is good in a way. It is not only like China, export focused and creating an imbalance, whereas imports basically led by oil, as well as the fact that ASEAN keeps consuming huge amounts of branded commodities which are imported from around the world. I'd like to share with you the statistics here before we finish. Indonesia, like I said, is the 4th most populated in the world. and easily the biggest member of ASEAN. Philippines is next. It's a predominantly Christian country. Philippines is an archipelago, which means it's got thousands and thousands of islands. Some of those islands have 1,000 people, some of those with 5,000 people. So participating actively with the Philippines is not going to be an easy task. Vietnam is quite big, quite a strong powerhouse. After the Khmer Rouge, it has been on the growth path. Myanmar, if you are following, they have just come out, I should say. They are coming out after years and decades of military rule. Aung San Suu Kyi has just got out of the shadows of a home arrest. Her party has been, they will be actually taking greens only in a few days, couple of weeks, when Myanmar is going to be one of the most important countries to look for, I would say, for the next 10 years at the minimum. This is where a lot of action is going to be happening, and I'm sure in your business careers, you'll be seeing a lot more about Myanmar. Malaysia, well, very strong economy. Cambodia, very tiny economy, very poor economy, but it has also managed to get on into the growth path. Laos, well, it used to be a very, very sleepy economy. Even Laos is talking of inflation, which is a good sign. Singapore, everyone knows. Brunei, if you see, 0.5 million is hardly anything on 625 million. Like I said, Brunei is not going to be in any bargaining power, but still it is a member, and it's an oil wealth nation which is very strong. I was thinking when I was seeing this, why Nepal should not be getting involved in the decision making process, the powers that be here. I believe that ASEAN should be what Nepal should be focusing on as you get forward to look at the future, which is going to be with more electricity and a brighter time to come. What they feel is shared market, shared benefits from 10 countries to 1. This is the slogan which AEC has been calling. All of those 10 would be getting the benefits, and they'd be reaping the rewards together. To conclude ASEAN integration, I still have 2 minutes, which will help members look at challenges with courage. The global economy has been consistently uncertain since the 2008 crisis. AEC may not be able to deliver on a fully integrated promise, but I think when they are together, the same old English saying, united we stand, divided we fall. I believe that they are preparing to stand together in order to face the threat, challenges posed by India and China separately together. Well, bang on target. Thank you very much for your attention. I wish you the next 2 days of very rewarding, stimulating academic endeavor. Every conference, every researcher, whoever is going to go up there and do your talk, face it with courage, my friends. You've done your hard work, and every research is worth it. Maybe when you sit down and listen to me, I may not have been into your vibe, much as when somebody listens to you, you may not be making an impact on him or her, but no matter. At the end of the day, I'd like to conclude with what Nike says. Go ahead, just do it. If not, its biggest competitor, Adidas, impossible is nothing. I thank the organizers for having given me an opportunity to share this wonderful days with all of you. It's been a great pleasure. Thank you so much. Kathmandu.
Thank you very much, Dr. R. Sinnath, for sharing the knowledge about this ASEAN, economic integration and much more. And now without any further delay, I would like to call upon the another guest of honor, and he is not only the guest for Uniglobe College, he has attended, he has participated, he has chaired so many sessions of international conference hosted by Uniglobe College, and he was present on first international conference, second international conference, as well as this time also in the third international conference. So now he has become the part of Uniglobe College, and especially the part of international conference hosted by Uniglobe College. So I would like to call upon the another guest of honors for the address, and he is from the University of Dhaka, Bangladesh. So please welcome Professor Mohammad Ziaulhaq Mahmood.
Okay, thank you very much. Let me start this way. Honorable Chief Guest of this particular ceremony, Dr. Awal, and thanks for your good words for Bangladesh. Dhanyabad apnake. And Bangladesh, as I said, Bhutan is a country of happiness. Bangladesh is a country of smile. Honorable Conference Chair, Professor Pradhan, nothing to say about it. I started from the very first conference. In that conference, I called him a vertical man. Okay, wait a minute. Even at that time, I can't imagine. 6-story building, climbing almost every 10 minutes at his age. You got a leader. You're real good. And today, I've seen him every 10 minutes. He is moving horizontally. He is a horizontal man too. And I made him my guru also. And conference session chair, Dr. Osha, respected principal of the Uniglobe College, Dr. Vista, my academic colleagues, dignitaries, distinguished guests, and my very dear students. Ladies and gentlemen, a very good morning. Again, Uniglobe College is part of my life. You made it part of my life. You have honored me, making me the guest of honor. But let me tell you, will you please stand? He's one of the few students I become so close. Breaking all the protocol yesterday, he requested his office, he wanted to receive me in the airport. His name was not there in the list. So, an institution, a college, it's not only Prabin, not him. His group, all the students, the way you honor me and all the academics and colleagues. Okay? And especially the young students here. I don't call you students, you are the junior scholars. You don't know me much, but you'll be knowing me. I've seen the vibration in you today, the way you vibrate. And the theme of today's conference, changing paradigms of management. You are the change, let me tell you. You can bring that storm. You have faced a few months back the earthquake. But earthquake, yes, it makes a lot of destruction. But at the same time, it also brings change. Tornado, tsunami. Bangladesh is familiar with this. Bangladesh is a country of disaster. But it's part of our life. We embrace that. Because we know along with that destruction, change just comes in. And without change, in a competitive world, you will not succeed. So you have to make this change, and the vibration I have seen today among yourself, continue with that. A little more. My time is very limited, only 5 minutes. And today while attending this particular conference and my years of teaching and corporate linkage, I was actually asking myself, what makes you, the business graduates, so different? I asked myself, great product, yes, you are. And especially Uniglobe college products are great. Great people, yes, you are. Respect I have seen from all of you. Great leaders, well, I'm sure, like Professor Pradhan, each of you will be like him, the leaders. But if you dig a little deep, you will unearth another, more fundamental reason to be a little different. What is that? Innovative capability. Yes. For survival, that's the theme of today's conference. Changing paradigms of management. You are the chief leader, and I call this, it's an age of innovation. Innovation, small things, big things, but you have to keep in mind, it's the only way you can survive and sustain in this competitive, highly competitive world. Innovation. And all your professors, all your teachers have a lot of belief in you. And you have gathered here 2 days, I think you'll be here, you'll hear from others, these changing elements. So share with us, and we want to hear from you also, the change element. You are the future of Nepal, you are the future of this subcontinent, and probably many of you will be the change leader in the global context, the world. With these few words, thank you very much, and thank you for honoring me.
Thank you so much, Professor Mamun, for your marvelous, motivating, and valuable words, and also for energizing and building the confidence level of our students. And now we are almost at the end of this inaugural session of this third international conference. Now, for the closing address and the vote of thanks, I would like to call upon the inaugural session chair of this third international conference, the chairman of Uniglobe College and the principal of Global College of Management. So please welcome Dr. Khalindra Prasad Oza.
Thank you, Deepkar sir. Chief guest of this special program of international conference, Dr. Tilak Rawal, conference chair, most respected Guru, Professor Dr. Pradhan, principal of Uniglobe College, Dr. Narbahadur Bishtar, Executive Director of Pokhara University, Mr. Thakurati, distinguished guest of honor from India, from Bangladesh and Thailand, all foreign delegates, our respected principal of Global College International, Dr. Thagunna, Executive Director of GCI, Mr. Sethi, Principal of Valley View English School, Dhruva Pokhrel sir, Program Director, Deepkar sir, Program Coordinator, Managers, Officers, Staff, and all dear students of Uniglobe College and our associated colleges, and all participants of this program. Good morning and namaste to all of you. Thank you for your valuable presence in this special international conference of Uniglobe. We are highly privileged to welcome the chief guest, Dr. Rawal, and all distinguished guests from India, Bangladesh, Thailand, and Nepal. Kindly accept our warm welcome and gratitude at this third international conference of Uniglobe College. Uniglobe College has been organizing international conference every year, and this is the third conference. We will remember every one of you for your kind presence here, and it will encourage us to do this kind of programs in the days to come as well. All papers to be presented here will contribute to our literature by adding new source of knowledge. Therefore, we must be grateful to all intellectual guests from different countries and the contributor to papers. and the participants. We are very much grateful to our chief guest, Dr. Tilak Rawal, who is the distinguished personality of contemporary time of Nepal. Dr. Rawal has always played important role as a good guardian for us, and he has made us capable to organize this type of international conference. We should also be thankful to our most respected Guru, Professor Dr. Radheshyam Pradhan, who is the main source of our inspiration for all kinds of academic and research works, and he initiated to organize international conference at this college. Our respected principal Dr. Narvad Dista, program director, coordinators, managers, staff and entire management team, and all hard-working dear students who have given full efforts to make this program successfully happen deserve special thanks. Kindly forgive us for any shortcomings, and if we could not fulfill your expectations of this conference. Thank you all once again for your valuable presence and participation here. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much, the inaugural session chair of this third international conference, Dr. Khagendra Prasad Oza, for the closing address and the vote of thanks. And now it's time to present the token of memento, and for this I would like to request our volunteers to prepare the memento, and also I would like to request our very own Principal of Uniglobe College, Dr. Narvad Dista, to present the token of memento, especially to the chief guest of this international conference, Dr. Tilak Rawal. Yes, sir, token of love. Thank you very much, sir, for managing your valuable time. Despite of your hectic schedules, you have managed the time for the students, for the research scholars, for national and international delegates, for being a part of this international conference as a chief guest. Now, with this, now we have the another session. So that is the technical session 1 and technical session 2. And please listen carefully. I would like to remind you all that technical session 1 will be conducted in this hall only. So this one is the main hall, this one is known as main hall 1, and technical session 2 will be the another hall nearby this hall, and that hall is named as hall number 2. And the participants, like in this hall, main hall 1, all the students of MBA, section A. So that means the student from MBA first trimester, second trimester, third trimester, fourth trimester, fifth trimesters, and student of 7th batch, especially section A, you all are requested to gather in this hall, and all the students related who belong to section B of all the trimesters, they are requested to gather in our hall 2, and the BBA students. So you all can choose the hall as you wish. So if you want to be inside this hall, then you can be here, or if you want to join another hall, then you can be there. But it's our request, if possible, then try to make 50-50%. So 50% in this hall and 50% in the next hall. Now we have 15 minutes short break, and after the short break, we will start the technical session. And all the paper presenters, please go through the souvenir. In which hall your presentation is going to be held, please go through it and be in that hall only. I request all of you. Now, thank you all for lending your ears, and this is all about the inaugural session of this third international conference, and very soon we will start our technical session 1 and 2. Thank you.